It's Christmas time, so we usually talk about saviours, but the saviour of Leeds recently isn't Jesus. It's, of course, DCL. Shingy LUFC says he's the most informed striker in the whole of Europe. Bert says, where are all those people calling our summer signings trash now? Hope you're doing well. We've got Chris and Sam fresh back from watching Leeds demolish Crystal Palace, who are good teams to us, don't forget, by the way, and ruling the rule over. What have we learnt from that? Thank you very much. This is Where Whites Walk. It's 20 minutes of Leeds chat. If you haven't yet subbed, please do so. It's looking back at all the good and bad social media takes from the games this weekend. Right, Chris, welcome back. Hope you're well, buddy. What have we learnt from watching Leeds this weekend?
I think we've learnt that Calvert-Lewin might be the best striker in the world. What a player. I think it was a great game. Crystal Palace were the best away team in the league. It only conceded 5 all season away from home, and I think we comfortably dispatched them. And I think it could have been a lot more than just 4.
It's mad, isn't it? I mean, when we spoke about Calvert-Lewin at the start of the season, when Everton visited, I think we were saying, look, if you keep him fit, he'll be great. And wow, he's absolutely in form, isn't he? Isn't he, Sam? Yeah, one of the most informed strikers in Europe, and statistically he is. And the run continues. Just, what do you like watching about him?
Well, I've enjoyed watching him the last few weeks, and I have to confess, as one of the ones who maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago had doubts about him, but I think it shows what happens when you play to his strengths. He works hard, and he said in the interview after the game, he sometimes is lonely leading the line on his own, and I don't think it's any coincidence that he started to score goals once we've got people closer to him, and he's been less isolated. And I saw a heat map today, and all the goals he scored have been pretty much in the centre of a goal and round between the penalty spot and into the 6-yard box. If you get a chance, or if you're half decent footballer, you're going to score. But his instincts are good, and we seem to be playing to his strengths now. Not just him, but for a lot of the team, which we weren't for the first couple of months of the season.
Yeah. I mean, crikey, Peter says 10 goals if you add up Chelsea, Liverpool, and now Palace. I mean, Chris, who'd have thought that at the start, even the start of, mid-November when we were sat here doing, is it time for Farke to go? We were debating that. I can't remember a turnaround for a team just with one tweak of a formation. That Man City game seems to have just been the catalyst for Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, Farke's had his issues, obviously, but we sat here and we discussed the 3-5-2 and the change that he made at Man City and how effective it looked, and it's just continued to get better and better. And I think all us fans could see that we were built for that system, and I think it just took them a lot longer to either realise or to admit that maybe the fans might be right. And the system has just been so refreshing as well, because we've got players that are playing so much better than they have done. We've been able to fit Bijol into the team, who obviously cost a lot of money. Calvert-Lewin's not playing up top by himself anymore. We're getting a lot out of Okafor as well. I think, it's such a refreshing change just to have a manager that's not being so stubborn anymore, that he's sort of adapted to it, and he has chopped and changed, and it has worked, and it's worked really well. And, we're one of the informed teams in the league now, which, 4 games ago we were the most out of form team. I think we'd lost 5 or 6 in a row. So it's a great change.
Yeah, I'm talking to some Sunderland fans on our Sunderland podcast who are not looking forward to this game coming up next. I mean, a couple of months ago, it would be different. We'll talk about Sunderland more in a second. This one from Robert James. Totally dominant against a very good side. Unbelievable performance. Where are the Farke out snowflakes now? We're not going to win the league. I think is he talking to you here, Sam? I mean, you weren't completely Farke out, but you were getting close, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I was getting pretty close to it before the City game. And he's rescued his job. But we'll have another run of tough fixtures coming up. Well, what he's done is give us a bit of breathing space. He's looking at West Ham's fixtures, and they've got 4 pretty winnable games. But I looked at a West Ham fan forum earlier on tonight. They're not happy. They're not happy, and I'd much rather be in our position than theirs. But in fairness to Farke, I criticised him when he was doing badly, but he's done what 90% of the fan base wanted, and that was to change and to show a bit of adaptability and to not just do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting it to work. And in fairness, he's changed. He's done what we wanted, and it's worked. So you have to give the guy credit for that. I'll criticize somebody when they're doing something badly, but he's worth praise, and the team's worth praise. There's a lot of players who really looked very poor. 5 or 6 games again. Like Stack was the start of the season. He looked as though he's going to be good, and then he sort of fell off the pace. Ampadu sort of went missing for about 4 games, and all these people are coming good again. And that's great. It's great. That's what we want. But as I say to people, if these guys were putting in 9 out of 10 performances every week, they'd be worth £80. They wouldn't be playing for Leeds United. That's just a sad fact of it.
You mentioned Ampadu there. Let's have a quick chat about him, Chris, please. Yeah, Stephen says, Ethan, you deserve that moment so much. And to do it at Packed Ellen Road, wow. Our captain, our warrior, obviously so proud of you. Yeah, and his first goal, of course, Chris. Does he deserve that?
Yeah, he massively does. It stings a little bit because it's the first home game I've missed in well over a year. And, I've missed it, and it would have been great to have been there. Probably one of our best games all season for such a long time in the Premier League. And yeah, he's just symbolises everything that Leeds United is. He plays for the shirt every single week. He rarely has a game that's below a 7 out of 10. He's absolutely fantastic, and you can see how much the fans and the team love and respect him. So yeah, for him to get that goal was just great to see.
Anybody else, Sam, we need to give a shout out to in terms of players that we have missed off?
Well, we've mentioned DCL. That's the obvious one. In fairness, much maligned, much criticised, but I thought Aaronson had a great game yesterday. He's got a lot of stick, including probably from me and some other guys in this podcast, but he got a bit of love from the crowd yesterday, and I thought he deserved it because, nobody's pretending, and don't think he pretends he's the best footballer in the world, but he does give 100%. And most Leeds fans, we don't expect people to be messy, but if that's Lionel, not the verb. But if they put in 100% and try hard, the fans will get behind him. And he had a great game yesterday. Rode on again, magnificent as he's been for virtually all the season. Nobody had a bad game. Some were better than others, but those Stack, again, I've mentioned, great game. Most people played pretty well yesterday.
Yeah. Were you pleased with that reception that Aaronson got, Chris? Was it nice moment for him?
Yeah, I've criticised him quite a lot. But yesterday I think he played really well. It was one of his strongest games. Definitely should have won a penalty. I'm not entirely sure. I'd love to know what VAR were doing, because I don't think he's touched the ball at all. It's probably one of the worst
They're
misses.
on their phones.
Yeah, well, I don't even think they checked it, to be honest. So, but yeah, Aaronson was great. He worked his socks off. He didn't get a goal or an assist, but he was brilliant, and he thoroughly deserved it. And I hope it continues, because I was very hesitant at the start when I saw he was playing instead of Tanaka, as I think 99.9% of the fan base would have been. But no, he proved me wrong. He proved a lot of us wrong, and he played really well.
Okay. We're going to take a short break, of course, over Christmas to give these two a bit of a rest. 2 away games, Sunderland and Liverpool, Sam, to come in the next 2 years. You mentioned very tough fixtures, of course, but the next home game is going to have probably lots of fans across the footballing world watching it. Just walk us through from your own lived experience about your your own personal dislike of Manchester United as a Leeds fan?
I think it just goes with the territory. I remember when I was young, from Belfast, and George Best was a big thing. So all my pals and stuff, a lot of them were Manchester United fans. But once I started going to Ellen Road and stuff, I realised that the Manchester United thing was really a very big, serious thing. And I was lucky enough to be there when we beat them during the Wilkinson era, when Cantona just went to them. And I think Alex Ferguson, he brought out his autobiography and he said something like the hatred of the Leeds fans is unbelievable. And I was sitting not too far from the dugout that day, so I knew exactly what he was speaking about. But it'll be interesting to see. I think the Chelsea players wilted under that. The Manchester United ones are a bit more experienced, I think. I think they'll probably stand up to it a bit more, and it's during the daytime. But it'll be a good atmosphere. So sometimes it can go too far, and then the opposition team can feed off it. So the fans are enjoying themselves, having quite a good hate fest. But the danger is if you get a good player on the other team, somebody that's experienced, they can actually thrive in that atmosphere.
Okay. Chris, when the fixtures first came out, then back in June, is this the one you were looking for first when you're scanning your finger down the list?
Yeah, of course. It's a massive fixture. I'll be there. I'm very excited for it. I think it's definitely winnable. Like Sam said, it's not played at 8 p.m, so it's going to be a bit harder. Still no idea to this day why we can't perform in daylight, but yeah, I mean with Fernandez now looking like he's done his hamstring as well tonight, so no Mbuemo, no Mazraoui, no Diallo, potentially no Fernandez. It's a weakened squad, and I think the fans are going to be up for it. There's not going to be a game that they're going to be up for more than this, and we've played so well at home this season, apart from a couple of games, and I think it's very winnable. And I think if we get an early goal, it's going to be very, very hard for Man United to come back from. So
yeah,
confident.
Don't forget, some of these United players haven't played at Ellen Road, have they? Or certainly not for a number of years. 12:30 or 8:30. So this fixture's not going to make them any quieter, is it?
No.
The sides of the ground are going to be well up for this, absolutely. And there's a neutral we're looking forward to as well. It's a great fixture to have back on in the football calendar. Leeds against Man United, especially at Ellen Road as well, should be a good one. Right, enjoy that, of course, when it comes around. Sunderland as well. I mean, Sam, are you surprised at the Sunderland story?
Yes and no. I think before they went on their spending spree, we expected them to be maybe the weakest of three promoted clubs, but they've obviously spent very, very well. And we discussed in the podcast a few weeks ago how Leeds fans are maybe a little bit jealous of how they got players we were chasing, and it started very well. But as the chasing the other chap, he said there's a lot of them going to be off at AFCON. So it is probably a good time. It's going to be maybe half their championship team. So Sunderland's a hard place to go, but it's maybe a good time to play them. When a few guys haven't played together for a while, it'll be like the first day of the season. If new players that aren't at AFCON and ones from last year mixing together and haven't played together before. So it's a good time. Liverpool have got their act together again, so that's going to be very difficult. But, when they concede, they get shaky. And Stack said last night, chaos. That match last night reminded me of Liverpool v Crystal Palace 30-odd years ago in the FA Cup. When Liverpool just couldn't deal with chaos. So bring it on.
we all wish you well for away at Anfield, of course, as well. Super. Right then, finally this week we're talking about the Player of the Year for 2025. The calendar year, of course, is almost up. So, tough job this, and let us know in the comments which one player do you think from January through to December now has shown the levels of consistency that is deserving of this accolade. Sam, who would you give this to?
Joe Rodon. Championship. He obviously gave a goal away in the Liverpool game, but he's been so consistent, so steady. And he's shown he's a Premiership player. Without a doubt, he's been, in terms of consistency, week in, week out, he's my Player of the Year.
Brilliant. Chris?
Yeah, I would have said Joe Rodon too, but to go with something different, I'll say Ampadu. He's incredible last year. It's been incredible this season. He's finally got his goal, so I'll go with him.
Brilliant. As it's a season of goodwill, we're passing out good messages as well. We're wondering who the best away fans have been so far at Elland Road. Chris, we'll come to you. So that you've been to most.
I'm trying to think. I think the Bournemouth fans were quite good from what I remember, especially with their last-minute equaliser as well. I think I would say Bournemouth, but again, not many teams have come and really done anything at Elland Road, so I'd probably go with them.
Okay, all right. Chris, sorry, not Chris, Sam.
Well, I was at the Bournemouth game, and yeah, they made a fair bit of noise. There wasn't too many of them. I don't get that often. I'm there maybe 3 times a year, so I'm probably not the best ones to ask.
Yeah.
I know that historically, the ones that sort of probably annoy me the most are probably Chelsea supporters. Because they don't really go to watch the game or anything. They just seem to go along to annoy the home fans. But that's away supporters for you, I suppose, isn't it?
Super. Finally, then, we're up to letter K this week for our A to Z. There's a few players or events here. Sam, what have you got for K? Anyone?
All right. Well, this isn't necessarily the best one, but it's the one who probably deserves it the most, and that's Gary Kelly. One club man. I remember actually watching his debut as a friendly when he played as a left winger against Gothenburg the year we won the league. But what a great servant of the club.
Yeah, super. Chris?
For me, in my era, I'm going to go with Mateusz Klich. Just because I remember he went on that spell under Bielsa where he played every single minute of the whole championship season until we got promoted and he was too drunk to play against Derby. So for him, he was a fantastic player for us. He was a massive fan favourite, and he still interacts with the club now and he's still loved by the club. So for me, I think there will obviously be people before my time that will be massively deserving, but in my time I've got to say Klich.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah,
great show. Brilliant. Right, thank you very much, you two. We're obviously wishing both of you and your families a very, very restful and happy Christmas, and thank you, of course, for watching as well. Wishing all our Leeds fans that have joined us over this little journey that we've been on Where Whites Walk a very happy Christmas as well. Do drop us your comments on all the above, especially if you can think of another player beginning with K that we might have missed as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Right, enjoy the football over the Christmas period. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks' time, folks, where we'll start discussing Leeds' survival in the Premier League. It can only happen now. That gap's going to be huge by the time we get back. See you then. Have a good Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.